If you're an OF model or you're an agency working with models trying to maximize earnings, you've probably realized that most of the money is made from chatting if it's done correctly. And by done correctly, I mean having the best sales structure in place, also known as having effective chatting scripts. These exact same chatting scripts made us over $50,000 on one model's account last month. And by the end of this video, you'll have the exact same chatting script framework, which you can implement into your account, or if you're working with models, into their account as well to 10x your earnings. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm not going to give you the exact wording we use in our chatting scripts, because if you're smart enough, then you know copying anything online rarely ever works, because that is pretty much what thousands of other people are doing. So that's why I'm going to give you the framework so you can learn more about chatting and pretty much create your own scripts inside this framework. So let's just dive straight in. So this is literally the framework. It looks very, very simple, right? But they all go onto separate docs. But this is pretty much the framework that we use, which we train all of our chatters with, and our chatters are able to come up with their own wording to fit into this framework to sell in the best way possible. Now, how have I actually come up with this framework? Like, this framework is my brain on a piece of paper. Everything inside each one of these docs is literally my brain put onto a document, right? So when I was chatting 16 hours a day, 24 hours a day, you know, you slowly learn how to chat the best way possible. And you know, from that I was like, right, I've got to get this down onto a sheet so I can make anyone else understand it as well. So pretty much how the sales process actually works is we'll go through the steps and then I'll explain each one in depth to basically make you understand and how to like move past each step extremely easily. Step one is general conversation, building rapport. So if I just open this doc for you, I'll show you this one, no worries. This is just going to be all the general stuff, right? So what do you do for work? Where are you from? We got two sections to this. So if it's a new sub that's come onto the page, or if it's not a new subscriber, right? So he's been there before. If it's a new sub, obviously we're going to want to find out about everything that he does, right? So we want to find out about what he does for work, where he's from, what does he enjoy doing for hobbies. We just want to get to know the person as much as possible, because that's going to allow us to sell as much as possible and build that connection as much as possible later down the line when is necessary, right? So we're going to find out all of the basics. Where are you from? Do you enjoy where you're from? What do you enjoy doing? That sort of thing, right? Very basic stuff. Nothing sexual, nothing explicit in this stuff whatsoever. It's just very general conversation, which you would have with anyone, right? So stage two is when a subscriber is not a new subscriber. We are going to be just like starting conversation, like literally how you would if you were talking to a girl or you're talking to whoever it might be, right? A friend, whatever it might be. Have you been working? What time do you finish work? Do you have plans for later on? Just all of these general questions to start the conversation, try get the conversation to flow somewhere. And obviously later down the line, we're going to switch it up a little bit, but we'll get into that in just a second. So yeah, this is one of the most important stages, building rapport, because without any rapport built, there's going to be no relationship built. The customers are going to buy because of love, not necessarily lust, you know, and the love is going to come from building the relationships such as this, right? Because all of these questions are going to flow onto more conversation, and it's just going to be very easy to actually build a relationship with the subscriber. So once we're doing this and it's the start of the conversation, we obviously don't want to build a relationship forever. Although it is important, we want to lead it to where we want it to go, right? Obviously selling content. So step two is transitioning to a more sexual conversation. And in this stage, it's going to be very important to let the customer initiate. So whenever we're in the general conversation, we always want to let the customer initiate, because when the customer initiates, we're going to be the ones that are in the power position and he's going to be chasing the model, right? And we always want to be in the power position. Like we can make him feel like he's in the power position, but in reality, we are the ones that are in the power position. How can we transition to a sexual conversation? There's a couple of ways. So we could either play hot or cold with the subscriber, for example. So we could say something slightly sexual, then go straight back to general conversation, just like nothing happened, just putting ideas in the guy's mind. Or we can send a free pic, completely non-nude, just a normal selfie, whatever it might be. The goal with these are getting the customer to initiate, because once he actually initiates after our hints, that's when we're in the power position, and that's when he's going to want to see more content, right? Cool. So once we have transitioned to the sexual conversation, the next stage is dirty talk. Now, I'm not going to be going into this doc because you can imagine what's inside it. I don't really want to be putting this on YouTube. With this stage, we're basically trying to get him to a point where he is going to buy the content. Take that as you will, right? If you do this job, you know what I mean. But yeah, we're trying to get him to a good enough level where he is going to buy the PPV that we send him. This is the main purpose of dirty talk. It's just trying to get him to buy the PPV that we send him. That's pretty much it. A lot of the dirty talk is going to be putting pictures in the customer's mind, not physical pictures, of course. It's going to be, you know, descriptive detail. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Inflow AI scripts, whatever it might be, but it's very, very simple to do. The main goal of this section is to make him unlock the PPV that we're about to send on step 4. When it comes to selling PPVs, or especially selling the first PPVs, we use a couple of things which really, really help us. So first of all, it's going to be about between $5 to $20. We don't want to go much higher than that for the first PPV because we want the customer to sort of get used to buying the content. So for the actual caption of the PPV, we are going to make it a question which he is not able to answer unless he unlocks it. For example, do you like how I do this in this video? Now, he cannot answer that question unless he sees the video, which he has to unlock. So it's sort of a tactic that we use for especially the first PPV, because it's going to make the customer, you know, it's just assuming that he's going to unlock. And being assumptive is much better than, you know, being persuasive at times or just begging someone to unlock videos, because it's not going to work like that. And of course, this is going to make him unlock. And from this point onwards, once he's unlocked, we're back to dirty talk. And our main goal here is exactly the same. It's going to be putting him on a good enough level to buy the second sell. And then it goes second sell, dirty talk. Third sell, dirty talk. Fourth sell, dirty talk. Fifth sell, dirty talk. And it's just going to keep going like this until we either finish the sequence or we get some objections. And that's where not by objection handles come into play. What to do if a customer doesn't unlock in certain situations. So ignores the PPV but carries on dirty talking. Pretty much you just want to come up with your own sort of protocols for not by objection handling, which you're gonna learn once you're on chats. If you do want these specific docs and you want to use all of our docs, obviously they are in the coaching program, which you can click the link down below. After getting your free outreach guide, you can grab that too. So if you really, really want our scripts, I know exactly how we make crazy money on chats. You can obviously get that, but you do not need to get that. You can create these yourselves. And yeah, this is pretty much the entire structure that we use. It's really not too difficult. Starting off with general conversation, transition into sexual conversation, dirty talk sell, dirty talk sell, dirty talk sell, until there's a potential objection. When there is an objection and he doesn't buy, you need to figure out, is it money that he's not buying for, or is it something else? And most of the time it's money, because they don't want to be spending their money on videos, right? But that's when we can sort of use our persuasive language to obviously get them to that point. I'm not going to go in depth into the actual chat inside because it's probably going to get banned off YouTube, and I'm not really trying to get my YouTube banned. But if you do want that, then you know where to go. But this is the structure that you pretty much want to use. It's a very easy structure to use. You can make any scripts around this structure, and if you literally just follow this structure, you are going to 10x your sales, going from no structure at all to an actual sales structure. But we do have a collection of chatting scripts which we exclusively share inside the mentorship program with all of the students that obviously come on board. So if you want to be part of the community, work with me one-on-one, and obviously scale past that 20K a month mark, go hit the link in the description and I will see you there. Take care.